I'm gonna be extremely honest with you guys. I did a horrible job at vlogging this retreat. Now, don't get me wrong, I captured a lot of beautiful shots, but there is not much, if any, dialogue. I probably said all of 2 words to you guys in this entire vlog. So I'm going to be narrating. So we're gonna be watching the vlog together. I think that way you guys can get the full scope of my experience, my thoughts on what the retreat was like, what Mexico was like. So, first thoughts upon arriving in Mexico City. I get to the airport. I didn't vlog while I was in the airport because I was trying to find my way, okay? Customs was very easy. I went through like a little machine thing. It took a picture of me and it gave me a receipt. And then it was on to baggage claim. Baggage claim took longer than any other baggage claim I've ever been at. I don't know if that is like a normal thing or if it was just the particular day I was there. I'm so American for saying that, but I just was not expecting my bags to take that long. But it finally came out, and despite me standing there for a really long time and having to wait for my bag, feeling a little bit uncomfortable because I'm not in my usual environment, I wasn't getting as many stares as I thought I was going to get. Now, when it comes to the overall demographic of people I was seeing in the airport, nobody looked like me. Let's just say it. Let's just be real. Nobody had a hijab on. I did not see one black person. So normally in situations like that, I get a lot of stares. I get a lot of, you know, fake smiles. I get a lot of people looking at me and then me catching them looking at me and then them pretending to look away but then looking right back at me. But surprisingly enough, I don't know what it was, but in Mexico City, I obviously didn't fit in, but I felt like I did because nobody was giving me weird stares, and that made me feel oddly safe as soon as I arrived. So after arriving, Anila, who is the, I guess, owner of Muslimah Travel Co, found me in the airport. We linked up and we went back to the Airbnb. The ride home was a little bit scary. It was giving Nigeria vibes. The driving on the road, it was rough. And during our drive, I actually learned that there was an earthquake in Mexico, somewhere in Mexico, just a couple hours before we had landed. And Anila had felt the earthquake from where she was. So that in itself was very scary, very, you know, I was a little bit shaken inside once I learned about that, because I've always heard about earthquakes. I've never experienced one, but people always say, you know, the aftershock or the after earthquake eventually comes, but we ain't feel nothing after that. So I was very happy about that. And then we made it to the apartment. The apartment was unreal. It was so clean, so beautiful, spotless. Normally, when I go to, you know, Airbnb, hotels, I'm very particular. My eyes are looking for the first thing that can, you know, kind of shake me up about, I don't know why I look for the first negative thing about the place I'm in, but I always try to, you know, keep an eye out for anything that is weird, out of place, dirty. But this apartment was spotless and it was beautiful. I don't know what I was expecting, I'll be honest with you guys. Going into this trip, I did not have any like expectations. Of course, I've heard my fair share of stereotypes and stories about what Mexico is really like, but I went into this with zero expectations because I didn't know what to expect and I didn't want to create any preconceived notions going into this. I just wanted to be a blank slate and kind of allow myself to fully experience this how it deserves to be experienced. So the apartment was amazing. We ate dinner courtesy of Anila's mom. She actually is a former chef, and when I tell you I have not stopped thinking about that dinner since the night we ate, I am so for real. It was delicious. I need to learn to make that rice that she made sometime soon. Let me uncover the, can I uncover the fish? Oh, please do. Yeah. Just want to take a picture of it. Thank you. After we ate dinner, we ended up taking a walk to a local coffee shop where we got hot chocolate. I think some of us got coffee, and we got desserts and we shared our desserts. Let me give y'all a little bit of background on the dynamic. So I've never met Anila before. Anila is the host of the retreat. I only knew one girl on the retreat, and her name is Rose. I know Rose through her husband DeWill, and this was our first time like actually hanging out. So even me and Rose, like, we're fairly new towards one another. And then two of the other girls on the trip were Hiba and Amina. Hiba knew Anila, but Hiba did not know any of us, and Amina was a first timer for everyone. So we all were kind of like newbies and just experiencing each other for the first time. But I think the fact that we were able to share desserts on the first night speaks volumes, and it kind of serves as a foreshadow for how the rest of the trip went.
I know. I just feel like I'm somewhere in the world. Yeah, you know, and it's just like, no, like, girl, you're in Mexico. Like chocolate in the middle. Ooh. Okay. Alright. Going on Xoxo. Ooh, I have the Creole chocolate. I love their cups. So cozy. Even the plates are cute.
Now, when we got to the coffee shop, I was noticing some really crazy prices on the desserts and the drinks, but it turns out that pesos, like the Mexican pesos, kind of uses the same symbol as the American dollar. I was seeing $78, $65, but it turns out they were pesos. So that took some getting used to.
Please try this, because like you know what I feel like right now? Scene in Ratatouille, where he mixes the cheese and the strawberry. That's how I feel right now. It's so good.
The next day, we went on a historic walking tour downtown with our lovely tour guide, Belen. I'm going to put her tour guide company on the screen. She was an amazing tour guide, and I learned so much through her. Apparently, Mexico means belly button of the moon. And I don't know why that stuck with me. It's just to think of the moon as a being with a belly button. Like, I don't know. I just thought it was really cute.
I love the city life.
I know. Me too.
They weren't originally from here. They were from the Aztlan. That's why the name of them are Aztecs, okay? The Aztlan, it was in the north part of Mexico. Now we think that maybe it's the Nayarit, another state, okay?
One thing in particular that stuck out to me on the walking tour wasn't any of the sites that we visited. It was the street organs.
Oh, wow.
Every single time you go outside, there is a street organ blasting a song of some sort. I have about 5 that are still playing in my head, but watching this vlog back, it's just one of those things that are kind of bringing me back to the moment. I can't say I really enjoyed the street organs, but they definitely gave Mexico City a character of its own. So I can only laugh when I watch the clips back and remember like some of the thoughts that were going through my head listening to the street organs.
I love that color. It's hitting me now that I'm here.
How beautiful.
I'm here. Oh. Sorry, guys. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. During our walking tour, we came across some graffiti on a wall that said Viva Palestina. I think there were 2 other instances where we saw some sort of art or graffiti on a wall showing support for the people of Palestine. And after hearing about Mexico's history, I see why there is an overwhelming amount of support over there for the people in Palestine. And it was so heartwarming to see those little reminders that a lot more people are not only waking up, but a lot more people are sensitive towards this. A lot more people are praying for Palestine. A lot more people are rooting for the freedom of Palestine. We saw Aztec ruins, we saw the National College, we saw one of the oldest, or I think the oldest candy shop in Mexico City.
So I'm gonna give you 2 minutes in case you want to take some pictures inside.
Now, this wouldn't be a wellness retreat without some sort of wellness. So we got into our first yoga class after our walking tour, and I learned that I'm apparently a lot more flexible than I might have thought I was. I didn't record the class, but I was very shocked to see some of the moves that the instructor was able to pull out of me, things that I didn't even know my body was capable of doing. And that was my first ever yoga class. Definitely shocked me, but more than anything, it made me want to sign up for a yoga class on my own free time. What you are witnessing here is me having a ceremonial matcha made in front of me. Now, I looked on the drink menu and I immediately saw ceremonial matcha and I thought, oh my gosh, that's the grade of matcha I drink back at home. Of course I'm gonna order it here. Little did I know that it came with an entire presentation just for the matcha to not even really be good in the first place. It was like a running trend of bad matchas while we were in Mexico. Everything else was good though, but the matchas, for some reason, maybe I just wasn't ordering them right, but that particular matcha was not good. That matcha was not good. I think it literally was just matcha and water. Ceremonial matcha and hot water. A+ for presentation. Right.
He's like, wow, more cameras.
The tacos right after, banger, delicious. After eating lunch, we had some free time, so we went back to the apartment, freshened up, I got changed. I ended up being late, which I was very embarrassed about because I said I was gonna do a 15-minute makeup look, y'all, and I really thought I had mastered my 15-minute makeup, but it turns out that it took 30 minutes, and I made everybody late. But we made it to where we wanted to go, which was the Coyoacan neighborhood. So at the end of the day, it worked itself out.
Como éramos felices cuando andábamos así.
How's the taste?
How is it?
Savoring it there.
Wait, how is it?
Yeah.
What does it taste like?
What does it taste? Chicken? Whatever flavor they have. Oh my gosh. Hibba just ate. Oh. Are these roaches? Or grasshoppers? For real? Grasshoppers? Okay, you only live once. Yeah. I'll do it. No freaking way.
Oh my god, Rodia. Wait, can I also record this? Hold on. This is a moment. This is a moment.
You have water, right? Yeah. I have gum. I don't wait till you, depending on what I see stuck on my throat. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh, I think she wants some. Yeah, you want some.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Guys.
It's good.
It's good, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I need water
That's
though.
impressive.
It's salty.
Gracias.
It's crunchy. It tastes kind of like a potato chip.
Yeah. No way.
I low-key might have one. Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh yeah.
No, I can't. Wow. I can't believe I did that. So I'm sorry.
I'm so proud of you.
Coyoacan was absolutely beautiful. So beautiful that I somehow grew the balls to eat a grasshopper. I would say, you know, I am somewhat of an adventurous eater. I like to try new things, so it wasn't that crazy to me until I actually put it in my mouth. And I wasn't lying when I said it kind of tasted like a potato chip, because it really did. Just a potato chip with legs. As in, the legs were stuck in my mouth for the remainder of the day. No matter how many beverages I chugged down, I still felt like I had little legs in the back of my mouth, which was probably the worst part about it. But overall, like, it wasn't that bad. Now that I look back at it, it was not that bad.
Yeah, what were in the museum that I think years ago? Yeah, maybe.
Éramos inseparables, nos veían tanto así, pero nadie se dio cuenta. Era muy fácil.
Watch this.
Y'all should have seen the last one. I had to like eat it.
After we ate dinner, we had the pleasure of witnessing so much talent in Coyoacan. I don't think I laughed as hard as I did the night in Coyoacan. Mind you, like, there really are very talented, very hardworking people in Coyoacan, but just the amount of stimulation that we were under, it felt like a fever dream. Like, one minute somebody is playing the violin, the next minute somebody is showing tourists bugs under a microscope, and then all of a sudden we had our own personal Michael Jackson performance. Like, there was so much happening at once. I didn't know what to give my attention to, what to laugh at first. Like, I was overstimulated.
I know that's right. Fun fact, I'm actually a huge Michael Jackson fan. I love Michael Jackson. Oh, okay. You gotta put a little bit more pep in his step though. Okay. Whoa. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him.
Is he wearing something on his face? Or?
He has makeup on. Oh, look, guys. Oh, so beautiful.
Right after this very scene, we all bursted out laughing because what we thought was a proposal with the mariachi band and the balloons and the hugs was actually just somebody celebrating their birthday. But we crowded around, big googly eyes, like it was literally just somebody's birthday. Like I will never get over how crazy we probably looked at that moment. But it was literally just a birthday dinner. Like, let's be so serious right now.
It's like when my husband looks for anything. Like, it's not there, like, it's there.
On day 2, we took a road trip to Puebla, which is a state and a city. It's either a state or a city, but it is 2 hours away from Mexico City. So we took a very long road trip there. A very scary one at that too. The roads were quite bumpy, but you know, I just said my prayers under my breath and kept it together. And alhamdulillah, we made it safely.
Everything was with it. Okay?
So first thoughts on Puebla. Puebla gave me Duloc vibes from Shrek. I don't know if it was the big churches or I just like, as soon as I got there, I was singing the Duloc song from Shrek. How does the Duloc song go again? Duloc is the perfect life. That's what was that is what was playing in my head as soon as we arrived in Puebla. I need one of the girls from the retreat to confirm whether they felt this way or not, but like I genuinely felt like I was in Duloc. Not in a bad way. Puebla was very interesting, very beautiful. Definitely noticed a completely different vibe though in terms of people. Like as soon as we got there, I guess we looked like foreigners more than we did in Mexico City because everybody was staring at us. And I mean like people were stopping in their place to stare at us and then continue walking. Like that happened so more times than I could count. To the point where a little girl actually came and asked to take a picture with us. Two families asked to take pictures with us. Like I guess we just stuck out a lot in Puebla because everybody was staring, people was asking to take pictures. It's crazy, like a 2-hour drive north or south, I'm not sure, but a 2-hour drive away from Mexico City and the people are completely different. Like it's just amazing how, you know, different parts of different countries, like the culture changes and varies. But one thing that stayed consistent in Puebla was that support for Palestine. Yup.
Hello, Mexico. Now this I'll record.
He has put us to making a dish called chile en nogada. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. But after 1821, we have attempts to reconquer New Spain from Spain. Well, it was not New Spain at that time; it was Mexico. So it was attempts to recover this land, but they couldn't do that. And United States as well. They tried to take control of Mexico, and between 1846 to 1848, they won half of Mexico, and now it's like the 1/3 of the land of the United States. El taco lo agregan y acompaña con la salsa chiquicha.
I wished I had had more sleep before visiting Puebla because I don't feel like I was able to enjoy it in all of its glory with the pounding migraine I was having. The night before I had 4 hours of sleep, and the night before that I had had like 2 hours of sleep. So at this point I was sleep deprived, and if I went another night without sleep, I definitely would have started hallucinating. So I was just not like fully okay in Puebla, but even with like how messed up my head was, I still was able to see a lot of the beauty and, you know, just experience the vibe, the atmosphere, and I enjoyed it. One of the reasons I was probably very sleep deprived, besides like not sleeping, is the fact that the girls just couldn't stop talking. Like, I don't know what it was. It's like Allah had, well, Allah, you know, is the best of planners. He plans everything, but this, like our meeting, like all of us connecting on this trip felt like fate. Like it felt like we were meant to be here. We were meant to meet each other. We were meant to learn about each other. Like there was not a single night that went by that we did not talk each other's heads off. And by the end of the night, I was crying. Somebody else was crying. Like every single night I was in Mexico City / Puebla, I was crying about something. And it was good tears. It was tears of, you know, connection and tears of sharing experiences, realizing that we're not so different and we're not alone in a lot of things that we experience. Like I'll never get over how quickly we bonded and got close to one another. And I think that's one thing about living with each other. If you live with strangers, you are bound to get to know them quicker than you would with people that you don't live with. It's kind of like when you watch Love Island and you're like, how are these people saying I love you in 2 weeks? I get it. Oh, 100%, I get it. I understand now because these were strangers when I first arrived and now they're like sisters to me. I think another thing that helped to strengthen our bond was the fact that we prayed majority of our prayers together. We woke up for Fajr, we prayed Fajr together. Prayers that, you know, we were struggling to pray on time throughout the day, like we would make them up together. And that's another thing that really brings you close to people. Like there is no better bond maker, that's a thing, than praying with someone. Like it just, any sort of barrier you feel like you have with somebody, go pray with them and watch that barrier fall down, disintegrate, crash, burn. Like what barrier? There's no barrier anymore. Like you're like this now.
I have to leave because I have another experience later. Watching all of our coffee with as less water as possible. In this process is when the coffee starts activating. It starts releasing oils and gases. That's why it starts bubbling, and I say that it grows like a muffin in the oven. 30 seconds, now I continue. We're gonna go now to 250 grams.
This technique, like, only in Mexico? Like, I've never seen this before.
No. It's actually in Mexico, we are not used to have this type of methods.
Would y'all believe that we almost missed that coffee class? As in, we were 40 minutes late. The lady was nice enough to still go through some of it with us, and it felt like an entire coffee class despite the fact that we were late, and she said she wasn't gonna be able to go through everything with us, but we went through a good amount of stuff. And I'm not like a big coffee drinker, but it was so interesting to smell and see and taste the different types of coffee and to see how the taste changes with the different types of foods that we had in front of us, and like all of our different perspectives on what we're tasting. Like that was definitely a really cool experience, and definitely recommend that if you're ever in Mexico City. Now this was our second and our final yoga class of the trip. We had one more yoga class after this, but spoiler alert, we ended up missing it. So let's get into this aerial yoga class.
Okay, so let's start forward and stretch our back and out, and out. Stretch. Now front back and go.
us were feeling a little bit, you know, lightheaded, a little bit tired, full from the meals that we had just eaten before going to this class. So we probably weren't in the best condition to be literally swinging in the air, but we made the best of it. And I left the class with a migraine. I sure did. But I'm so happy to be able to say that, like, I did aerial yoga. Would I do it again? In better conditions, better circumstances, yes. I would definitely make sure that, you know, I've had a good amount of sleep, I've had a light breakfast, or maybe nothing even. I would not go with much food in my belly, and much more comfortable clothing. I don't feel like I was very comfortable in the clothes I was wearing, but I was trying to be modest. Our instructor though, God bless her heart, she is such an amazing woman. Not only was she literally instructing us in Spanglish, mind you, I do not know a lick of Spanish, so somehow I was still able to follow her lead with her mixing her English with her Spanish. She was also so hands-on, like she was positioning us and correcting us and fixing our mistakes and encouraging us throughout our time there. Like even when our poses were completely off from what she was showing us, she was still cheering us on. She was still telling us super bien. She was still telling us muy bien. I miss her low-key. Like she was such a sweet lady, and I hope that I can go back to Mexico City soon to take another one of her classes, because honestly it was so great.
Stand for your front, just really strong arms. Okay. All time. Yeah, that's all I can do. It's fine, it's fine. You can go back. You can try, just try to find the floor. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
They're not speaking.
I know.
After our farewell dinner, I didn't continue the vlog because I felt like there wasn't really anything else to show you guys. That is pretty much how my time in Mexico City went with the Muslimah Travel Co. This was my first ever wellness retreat, my first ever yoga retreat, my first ever retreat for Muslim women, and I can honestly truthfully say I will never ever forget this trip. I will never ever forget the ladies I met on this trip, the experiences, the laughs. It was just amazing. I'm just so grateful. Why am I getting emotional? Shout out to Muslimah Travel Co. Shout out to Anila. Shout out to all the girls. I love y'all and I love you guys. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.